This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, fans and non-fans alike, to the greatest fan theory show in America, Super Connectivity. I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the man who puts up with my nonsense.
I love every minute, Phil Perich, but for a second there, I thought maybe you forgot the title of the show that you came up with.
Yeah, no, I remember. I always remember.
I know, but you got so many shows. I know.
I forget sometimes what show I'm on. Oh, and you guys really threw me for a loop this week over on the Nuff Said podcast because you dropped the intro.
That's all editor Little Hellfire. Don't look at
yeah, but I didn't. Was there a rights question? We're not supposed to be using the brilliant words of Phil, me, and Coulson.
Bring that up. Bring that up with Miss Hellfire.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, I don't need to do a special intro because they've been doing this great intro. And then it's like the first time I skip it, and now it's like just some kind of doodle song. You're killing me, Lilith. You're killing me. Anyway, so I want to jump back a bit because this is actually old news, but no one is really talking about this. So the toys are at it again, spoiling movies.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiling movies like their name is Tom Holland. And so two items came out. One is on the toy pack for Mysterio. And this is it says Marvel's Mysterio is a sworn enemy of Spider-Man. And they go, it's been spoiled. First off, okay. But one thing I noticed in that, first off, it doesn't say Mysterio, it says Marvel's Mysterio.
Oh yeah, I think most of their stuff now they're putting Marvel in front of it. You know, it's
but the fact, yeah,
it's not Sony's, it's Marvel's Mysterio.
Well, yeah, but but not the MCU's Mysterio. They just said, here's what I'll say: Marvel's Mysterio absolutely is a sworn enemy of Spider-Man. That does not mean the Mysterio we're seeing here is necessarily a sworn enemy of Spider-Man. I mean, we all believe he is. We all know that. But here's my big prediction, because there was one other bit of information in that toy stuff that came out, which is that the fire elemental is named Molten Man, another Spider-Man villain. And we've seen that there's a fire elemental, a water elemental, and a apparently sand or dirt elemental, rock elemental, which of course Spider-Man has two other villains, Hydro Man and Sandman, who have similar sets of powers. Now, and here's what I'm thinking: if you add in Mysterio, that gets you to 4. If, as has been theorized, the villain, the Nick Fury we're seeing, is actually the Chameleon, that's 5. And if we reveal at the end that it was the Vulture pulling the strings from prison the whole time, that's your Sinister 6. You know, it's a possibility, just tossing it out there. But definitely, if we do have the confirmation, see, that's the thing, is that is the bigger spoiler. That the elemental is actually a guy with superpowers named Molten Man. That's your big spoiler, because that means that, first off, not elementals, not aliens from another world, but actually just hired goons from Mysterio here to cause some trouble. There's other things you can have in there. I mean, if we don't want to go the Chameleon route, there's also the possibility that maybe Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, is funding this. Maybe J. Jonah Jameson is funding all of this.
What if your buddy Otto's pulling the strings?
Might be nice. Actually, I think you have a better shot at the Tinkerer being involved in this, because we do. The Tinkerer is one of the guys who got out who wasn't captured after the Vulture was captured, which also means that he's like the one guy who's a go-between.
And there is historical precedent for a connection between the Tinkerer and Mysterio, because in the Tinkerer's first appearance on Amazing Spider-Man 2, one of the aliens he was working with, so it was supposedly Quentin Beck Mysterio.
Yeah, yes, that's a retconned aspect of it, but yes.
Yeah, but I mean, still, yeah.
Yes, but still, yes, you're right. That is a real issue here. So to me, that's powerful. That's strong, and I think that's what we're rushing towards in this storyline, because clearly Mysterio is up to something.
Yes, of course.
And here's the other thing that I thought. We have seen apparently that those extra suits that Spider-Man is making,
yes,
those are being made in the same 3D printers that they made Vision in.
Yes.
Which is suggesting that these guys are being made basically at the atomic level, possibly with little nanomachines, which we have seen as part of the structures in Iron Man's armor at the time. So Iron Man has that technology, these little nanobots that rebuild itself. Here's my crazy fan theory. What if the AI in the stealth suit gets set to instant kill and then starts to try and take over Peter? And that's going to be our MCU Venom.
Oh, man.
Rather than going with a living symbiote, it's actually just a living armor. In
Bendis's Ultimate Spider-Man series, I mean, the symbiote wasn't an alien; it was more like a science experiment. So I mean, they could go that route with it's more like earthly science based.
Yeah, well, I like the idea that it could be just Tony's tech that is just getting out of hand. And here's this other idea, and I don't know the legal rights on this. I don't know if RDJ would sign off on this, but he'd probably do it for a lot cheaper. They have all of the recordings for the past 10 movies of everything Robert Downey Jr. has said, which is probably enough to build out an AI Alexa-type program for it, which means you could put in a character like Mainframe from MC2 that was programmed with Tony's AI.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I just wonder if he's going to put on a suit and then when the AI starts off, they're keeping it a secret for that heart wrenching moment. The AI is Tony Stark, and it's just like someone's like, oh, I mean, even if they don't have the audio for it, which I'm sure Disney probably owns the rights to. I mean, just get Robert Downey Jr. to come in for an hour and just cut some lines.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to pay Robert Downey Jr. money if he actually has to show up.
Yeah.
If he has to get out of bed, I mean, But what I'm actually saying,
but I mean, how far ahead did they plot this? I mean, could they have got a hold of him while he was still filming, like in Endgame or something? Be like, hey, cut these lines. We need them for Spider-Man Far From Home.
I mean, they might have. They could have. I mean, but actually, what I like the idea of them actually going through the trouble to create a Tony voice module AI.
Yeah.
Is that first off? You could sell the heck out of that Tony AI.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., a nickel every time. How much would you pay to have a Tony AI Alexa?
Ringtones. Oh, Alexa, yes.
Yeah, your little, Tony, we're going to there. And he's like, let's go get cheeseburgers,
Oh, my Lord, I want that.
I know you do. And you would pay honest to goodness money for that.
I was thinking like ringtones and stuff, but no. Oh.
Yes, you can program an AI like that.
I'm surprised they haven't been doing more voices for that.
Huh. Well, but the idea, first off, they're waiting. And honestly, if they do this, they're going to have, like I said, they're going to have to give Robert Downey Jr. a bunch of nickels.
Mm-hmm.
But the man likes nickels, so
it's a lot of them.
Yeah, he has a big old pile. He's like Scrooge McDuck, just jumps right in, swims around.
But I mean, now everyone would love Tony Stark's voice to be the AI, but also wouldn't that make sense from like a story standpoint? It's like Tony Stark's quote unquote ghost haunting him.
Well, I'll give you one. I'll give you two better. One is going with the idea that you could have this sentient AI suit.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Superior Spider-Man a superior Iron Man actually had a symbiote armor.
Yes.
So if that suit suddenly becomes the symbiote and has that RDJ mindset, but it's like this superior thing, and then crazy idea, bonds with someone who also hates Peter Parker, Mr. Flash Thompson. You know, because who needs Eddie Brock? Nobody likes him anyway.
But no, just like if something happens and that AI runs amok, and like it's like not only did he have to watch Tony Stark die once, this time he has to like kill what's left of Tony Stark.
Oh yeah. Ooh, and not for nothing, that could be our 6th Sinister person.
Oh, evil Tony Stark AI.
Evil Tony Stark Venom AI. Now there is talk that Sony might want to incorporate their Tom Hardy Venom into the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, they're saying that's supposedly the rumor that maybe Spider-Man 3 might have Venom.
Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. We'll have to see what they decide to do. I mean, one thing that's certain is that they absolutely can have these characters who don't interact outside of their, which is honestly not that uncommon in all books. You know, you don't get this other villain in this book because that's not one of it's Magneto's not their villain. You know.
Yeah.
And the Last of Evil is coming up. Now, here's a question for you. Do you think the secret warps are going to tie into the Acts of Evil?
I don't know because they're both like annual events this summer. Yeah, the Acts of Evil are one, and then they're doing the warps again and a bunch of annuals. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I just find it interesting that they both are doing that. And we're gonna get like a little, and like apparently they're not only are the heroes merged, now their events are merging. So there's Inferno attacks, and
I mean, it would be cool, but don't you think they would be hyping that more if that was a part of that? If they were like, not only is it this universe, Acts of Evil spills out into the war.
Well, what I'm wondering is if there is a tie. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be a strong tie, but maybe this is gonna help to bring the Secret Warps universe, the Infinity Warps universe, more into maybe even helping to build that out as sort of an alternate superhero run.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be. They're coming eventually to the main 616, but
no, I don't think they need to. It's really honestly, I don't. I like having separate universes.
Actually. I mean, Old Man Logan never had to come to the 616 and what did they do? They do it. Conan didn't have to come to the regular 616, but
well, although again, in all those cases, they're actually separate entities.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, the Old Man Logan that we see in this universe isn't the original Millar Old Man Logan.
I don't know. You don't think they're trying to paint it like he is, kind of?
Well, actually, what's interesting is that Old Man Logan actually came back. So this isn't the first time Old Man Logan came to the 616.
Yeah.
Because originally Millar had Old Man Logan. Kristen, get your popcorn out. Had Old Man Logan come to the 616 in his Fantastic Four run.
Yeah.
Because that's where you had Old Man Logan and the Dead World, and that's where we got the idea that Logan's powers are actually powered by the spirit of Gaia.
Yeah.
Which makes him actually kind of godlike, which actually makes sense with him eventually bonding with the Phoenix Force and having the Time Bat and goodness knows what else.
But did you see who's co-writing all 5 Secret Warps issues?
No, who's co-writing that?
Immortal Hulk writer Al Ewing.
Hey, Tristan, 1 second. Yes.
Al Ewing.
Oh, Al Ewing. Oh,
yeah.
Very cool. Yes, for those wondering, Tristan was asking, basically what he's asking is, after Old Man Logan, why are they making another X-Men film?
I don't know. I guess they wanted to give a send off to those other characters. I don't know, but yeah.
I tell you, I'm not excited about it just because. Man, the reviews have not been kind.
No, it's like mediocre. It's just I just love the commercials though. It's like the end of the X-Men saga. I just want them to say the end until Marvel gets their hands on.
Well, but again, as Tristan's saying, wasn't Logan the end of the X-Men saga?
I know.
And what what's weird is I was watching, what was it, The Wolverine, the one where he's in Japan?
Yeah.
And he mentions that he killed the Gene in that.
Yeah. Well, that was that. Again, the Wolverine happens before Days of Future Past. So it's like, I think Days of Future Past rewrote that whole timeline. It's very confusing.
Yes,
But they did Dark Phoenix already in X3.
Yes, they've done it they've actually done it 3 times. This will be the 3rd time. Because they did it in Age of Apocalypse. Where we have the Phoenix first show up in Age of Apocalypse. They did it actually, was that X3 or was that X2?
Then no, 3. Yeah. No, that was that.
That was X3 when they go to the Weapon X site. Actually, wasn't that
X2?
No, that was it. That was actually the first X-Men.
No. X2. No, X-Men 2 is when they went to the Weapon X site, and that's when Jean supposedly died, and you start to see the Phoenix Force at the end. But no, X3 is when she comes up out of the water and kills Cyclops and after X supposedly, and then Wolverine has to kill her at the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. Okay, they don't. Fox didn't care. That's what we could. Fox doesn't care.
Oh no,
they're like honey badgers. They just
there's like
timeline
making movies to keep this, and then they end up losing it anyway.
Yeah, well, not for nothing. Well, they sold it, but at the end of the day, it's like they had no respect for time travel. That's unlike the Hulk, they had no respect for time travel. So, stupid. But moving right along.
I mean, I think that Days of Future Past was supposed to clean up the timeline, but it just created more headaches.
Yeah. Well, because we got the McElroy and Stewart, and then we brought Stewart back one more time.
Like Deadpool said, which timeline are we in? The Mac and Stewart and McElroy or McElroy?
Yes, although they did answer that in X-Men 2, or Deadpool 2, where you do see McElroy.
Oh yeah.
Lex Luthor wig. He looks so bad with that because it is so obviously a bald cap. It is clearly not a bald guy. It's. It's not even as good as Rosenberg's bald cap. Well, actually, part of me wonders if Rosenberg actually shaved his head for that role. I don't know.
I think for most of Smallville, I think he might have shaved his head. Maybe like when he came back at the end, I think it might have been a bald cap. But I think for most of that series, he shaved his head.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. And that's not for nothing. You got to do that. You got to do that because it doesn't look. Bald caps don't look right.
You got to commit, like Charlie Esser. Shave your head.
Yeah. Oh, fingers crossed. I applied for a job at Disney yesterday, man. It's just an admin job, but
where?
With Disney.
With Disney.
With their live action, with their live touring musical department.
Oh.
Yes. So
might have an insider seeing people.
I might. I mean, as much. I mean, certainly, if you want to know about the new Beauty and the Beast musical, yes, I could be an insider. Although I'm sure I would have to sign all kinds of NDAs that would say I cannot tell you anything. Of what even I am. I actually even have privy to. I would not be able to say.
Yeah.
But I would be able to say I work at Disney. So
nice.
I will have achieved a dream, being 2 companies removed from Marvel Comics. Not much closer to living the dream of making photocopies at Marvel Comics. That'll always be the dream. Moving right along. One thing, speaking of Marvel Comics and Disney Plus, one thing I did want to bring up, which we mentioned it a little bit when it first came out. There was a Brazilian, I want to say it was a Hyundai commercial, or it was some car commercial in Brazil, where they recreate the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon as a really beautiful live action scene where Presto like conjures the car and they drive out and they go back to the amusement park and they're all back home, which is like just such a brilliant ending to that series. But it got me wondering, why the heck? Because first off, that's owned by Disney. That's a Marvel production. That's a Marvel Studios production. It was in association with Filmation, but Marvel did all of the actual writing on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it got me wondering, why is Marvel putting that out there right now? And then I'm thinking, we do have Disney Plus coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike DC, I get the feeling we're going to get a deluge of content when this comes out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I think that not just like old stuff. There's going to be like new stuff you haven't seen before.
Oh,
Not for nothing. I actually get the feeling there are a lot of Disney projects that are in middle production right now that are just being so clamped down you don't even know about.
I mean, the stuff we already know about. I mean, we're getting at least at least 3 original Marvel series.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing that Star Wars, The Mandalorian, or whatever on there?
Yeah, and The Mandalorian is the only one that we've actually seen stuff on.
Yeah.
I don't think Disney is opening it with just here. Like they're not going to do what DC did, where they said, "Here's Titans."
Yeah.
And once we're done with Titans, maybe we'll do another series, and maybe we'll do another series. I think when they drop, there's going to be at least 4 different series. I think you're going to get WandaVision. I think you're going to get Captain America and Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely going to get the What If series.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki. You're going to get all these things that are just ready to go the second you join in. Because that was definitely DC's mistake. It's just not having enough content.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, I could see them starting day one, The Mandalorian and one of those Marvel series go up the same time.
Yeah. But it strikes me they would probably want to do more than that too. They're probably going to want to have, there could be a Kim Possible series on there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they certainly have put that out there. They are hyping it. I enjoyed it. I tell you, the biggest problem with the Kim Possible series, or the Kim Possible live action show, was that it is that they really had to invest in more in the wire fighting to give it that cartoon feel.
Yeah.
Because the way she's moving like a human being, obviously. But Kim Possible doesn't move like a human being. She moves like a she moves like a superhero. And I don't think they invested as much into the wire fighting as they should have. They really should have put much more into their stunt budget to make that a really good thing. Well acted, great story, but I think that where it really hit its wall was they just didn't invest in the stunt budget.
Yeah. I mean, I think they really got the plan, which of course Disney always does, because it's like they announced this week. I mean, they already canceled Swamp Thing after they shortened it. The second episode came out today, and they had already canceled it this week because they're
and you know why?
Well, I saw 2 different things. One, that Warner's is rethinking the whole the one big app, and then 2, there was some kind of tax thing with them shooting Swamp Thing down there.
Okay, and more importantly, no Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh yes, of course.
You're not gonna have Adrienne Barbeau in there. Who's going to want to see that? Who?
I know, but I mean, the female lead is very attractive, but and I didn't even realize till I looked it up online. She's the same one who was playing Sophia Falcone on Gotham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I
don't know if that's or not.
Yeah, but that was the big thing on the internet. They were saying, yeah, Warner's is rethinking the whole, Warner's Plus app, I guess, or whatever, and
Warner's Plus. But like I say, it's so they have an established streaming service in HBO Go.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're reconsidering. Hey, maybe we should have rolled everything into one app.
Who
would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought it?
This kid's forward to the Disney Plus app.
Yeah. See, and this is I'm sorry, not for nothing. DC is going to get criticism no matter how much you love them, no matter how much of a fanboy or fangirl you are.
Again,
your DC stuff is going to get criticism because it's often not well done.
They wanted to be first on that app thing, and it's like, if it's poorly executed, who cares if you were there first?
Oh yeah, and you know what? Nothing kills a bad product faster than good advertising.
Yeah.
You run there to be the first, but if what the first is we're the first people with a really substandard app.
Exactly.
They go, well, that's not something I want to pay for.
Hey, we were there first, but pay the monthly fee and we'll give you one show at a time.
Exactly. And granted, they did have all the Super Friends apparently.
Yeah,
but yeah,
all the old stuff was there, but yeah, all the new stuff they give you one show at a time.
yeah, and you know what's the profit in that?
And I mean, DC's good, but there's only DC on that app. Disney, day one, they're giving you Marvel, they're giving you Star Wars, they're giving you all the old stuff.
Mm-hmm. And maybe Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, for old stuff, if they put it on the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, oh, I would be in heaven. I know there's probably rights things with Filmation, but you know what's Filmation?
I'm trying to remember. I thought they were saying a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what property it was, but I thought they were talking about putting something else on there too. But I can't remember.
Yeah.
Remember what it is. But yeah, I mean, Disney, Disney's going to be ready to go.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like I said, for the old stuff, it's just certain licensing fees, and
I just wonder if they're going to tie the digital comics into it too.
You know what? I don't think so.
I don't know, because you have all those Marvel and Star Wars comics. I mean,
I know, but the fact of the matter is first off, they already have. Here's the thing.
Or if nothing else, I
don't think that the two apps are as compatible as DC thought they would be.
Yeah.
Because DC is thinking everyone's going to want to watch this on their phone, and then they can go read a comic on their phone, because the comics do work well on your phone with the guided view, which I believe that was like the big selling point of the original Marvel app, because the original Marvel, they were the guys who like cracked the guided view code on that. But what's weird about it is that okay, so we can read our comics on here, but the fact of the matter is, we're probably buying it for to watch on our TVs, not on our phone. Because you want to sit down with your snacks and your drinks and your whatevers and watch the shows on TV, and then to go from that to reading a comic book on the TV, you can do it. You can do it. It's not advisable.
Yeah, I know.
But you can do it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really felt Doom Patrol ended very soft.
Yeah.
I really don't think it had as good of an ending as the build-up granted it.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, they needed an ambush bug, a Mr. Mixoplex.
It was just like
a Batmite.
I know, it's just like another wacky thing happened to us. Tune in next season. Yeah. It didn't seem like a final, a season finale. Yeah, it just seemed like it could be anywhere in the season.
Yeah, it just felt like the whole thing. It didn't. For all the threat of Mr. Nobody, it kind of petered out, and
not with a whimper. Yeah,
went out with a whimper, and I'm sorry, Van Wayne deserved better than that.
I know.
And I'm telling you, man, Van Wayne, he's over on Tubi right now. I can watch all my Powerlesses whenever I want. Why didn't you put that on the DC app? I mean, really? Why are you wasting that on Tubi when you could put that on the DC app as additional fun content? Because there were unaired episodes super nerds would want to see,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
I know, but the other thing I bet you Disney Plus is going to do. I see so many people online complaining that like, oh, I can't get the DC Universe app on like I don't know what like their PlayStations or like on certain platforms or whatever. So I'm sure when Disney rolls out, they're going to be like, you can download the app on any of your stuff.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Well, talk to see.
You have to have an Android version and an Apple version. It's like, it's like VHS and Betamax. You got to put out both. Eventually the market will decide on which. But actually, as it turns out, there's not really that much more of it's not as much of a commitment, which is why we'll probably always have incompatible software models out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it was Betamax and VHS, it was a bigger commitment, both for the purchaser and for the producer, because they had to get special equipment to make it.
Mm-hmm.
With this, you just need a different computer to run it on, and then you just have to like make some tweaks to the code, but the basic code stays the same.
Yeah.
So getting it to run on Apple or getting it to run on Android or getting it to run on Windows, and of course because Android and Windows are both open platforms, because they want people to produce content for them, because they were like, we don't want to produce all this content. That sounds like hard work. Why don't you go here's how you make content for this thing. Go make us some content. Thank you.
Plus the Disney Plus, no matter how much it costs to make all these different, I'm sure it doesn't cost that much to make all these different versions, but this is going to pay off. They're definitely going to.
Well, I mean, it's already paying off.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying.
Not for nothing, Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
Endgame made more money than anything in history.
Did it eventually beat Avatar? Because now I'm hearing conflicting things if it beat Avatar.
I don't know. I swear I saw things that said it did, and I don't know. But
I mean, maybe it beat Avatar domestically, but maybe worldwide, Avatar still has the legs.
Even if it did, it's number 2 of all time.
Yeah, well, not for nothing. Endgame's still in the theaters.
Oh heck yeah!
I mean, I can actually go see Endgame as a palate cleanser after I go see Phoenix this weekend. So
I mean, we're not. I mean, yeah, we haven't even gotten to the streaming and Blu-ray money and.
Oh yeah. So I don't think Endgame is done yet, but yeah, I think it's I think it beat U.S. gross, but it hasn't beat worldwide gross. But neither one of them have still ever beat Cleopatra. So adjusted dollars, man, you always got to go for adjusted dollars. And them adjusted dollars, they got real big in the past.
Sex appeal always sells.
Man, Elizabeth Taylor, she was sexy. There's no argument there. Reason why the woman had like 10 husbands, Yeah.
Hey, want to talk some comics?
Sure. I didn't read as many as I would have liked to.
Okay.
Let's go to the most annoying comic of the week.
War of the Realms number 5.
And it's not annoying because the story's hard. It's just that it jumps around so much.
The time is all jumbled.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense in its own book.
Yeah.
In its own book, it's not making sense because we start off and here is Daredevil with Thor as he does the whole Odin thing and axes himself to Yggdrasil. And then several chapters later, he's in Australia fighting. And there's no explanation of how he went from one to the other. Why or how or what's going on there. Yeah, he's fighting with the Defenders here. Yeah, you can see him in the back. And he's wielding the whole, what's it called? Heimdall sword. And Iron Fist is warning him against that. I don't know Jessica Jones in that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Defenders and Deadpool, but there's no Jessica Jones there.
Yes. And apparently She-Hulk has a hammer that makes storms. Sure.
But no, just like I said, it's even worse. Look, one page there's Jane Foster fighting with Roz Solomon, and then the very next page, the very next panel, it's like Asgard. They switch to Asgard now, and there's Jane Foster.
And that is Jane Foster there?
Yeah, because Heimdall calls her Lady Jane.
Well, no. That's Jane Foster fighting with Roz. Is my question.
Yeah, she said. Yeah, it says as Roz Solomon and Jane fought because it says Roz Solomon's vibranium bullets and Jane Foster's spear tear holes in the flesh of this. Darius Agar or whatever.
Yeah, and you're right. And literally the very next page. Literally the very next page.
Panel. The next panel.
I don't know, man. And apparently Wolverine's joined the Warriors 3, so that's fun.
But taking Volstag's place, yeah.
Well, he drinks as much as Volstagg, so Although Volstagg gets a nice little redemptive moment here when he's powering the Destroyer armor.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
We get another panel of Fantastic Four, and it makes sense. They remind us, hey, the Fantastic Four are used to fighting giants.
Oh yeah. Well, that New York, as Galactus learned, New York has more than it has enough giants for itself. Now this is weird. Is this a flashback where we see Thor coming for Malekith here? And then again,
I think he.
And then a few pages later, we see him on the Jaeger's drill.
I thought it's jumping around. It's very confusing. And it's like, I could see in like one of the tie-in books, maybe the timeline being a little off, but in the same book. In the same book.
Yeah. And here's another thing. Beldar is driving the Hell Charger. Oh, and here's a personal thing. Destroyer armor, and make the point that even though his body is broken, the only thing bigger than his appetite is his indomitable spirit. Yay!
But it's like, I just looked at the credits. I'm like, oh, maybe there was like multiple writers. One writer, Jason Aaron. It's like, how are you making mistakes when there's
I still want.
writer?
Yeah. Is this like one of these books where they've got like multiple artists and writers, and like did they not like trade notes this time?
No,
I guess
there's like multiple artists, but there's one writer credited on this book. So
yeah. And I'd like to know when Spider-Man befriended the Hell Sweaters.
Wasn't that one of those crossover miniseries?
I don't know. Because the only one I know that he was in the one where his horse dies.
Was there like a League of Spiders? There's another one of those tie-in books where I believe Spider-Man's in. Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of giants in New York,
Old Man Quill.
I liked Old Man Quill. I liked Old Man Quill a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Got Quill dealing with all his PTSD over his dead family, and we get this guy. And I was waiting for them to reveal that this guy was like Quill's son or something, super fast guy.
Yeah.
But no, apparently he's just made of pure energy, yada yada.
He's one of those Shi'ar superheroes. He's been around before. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he has been? Okay. I thought that this was maybe the first time we were seeing him. But he does blow himself up eventually. And after they've damaged his containment suit. Because apparently he's like Captain Atom. If you damage the containment suit, it all goes to heck. Mm-hmm. But he creates the beacon for their master, and then we see the Doombot, challenging the scruffy nerd herder there, and then of course Viv takes him out. But then we see who is the great god of death that our villains are serving.
Galactus.
Big purple himself, yeah. And of course, they actually already say in the book prior to that the artifact they're searching for is the ultimate nullifier.
Yes.
Which, not for nothing, I don't think Reed kept. I think it appears in the Baxter building when Uatu wants him to have it, but
I just wonder if it's something where Reed Richards got it back sometime in the future.
Yeah. Anyway, but I did enjoy Old Man Quill, even though I kind of felt that a lot of the big reveals were telegraphed. The fact that Galactus is who they're bringing, now he's got the. But one of the things I like best about that is the whole death cult of Galactus. Is actually from the Mobius Silver Surfer story that Mobius and Stan Lee wrote together back in the day, where basically Galactus comes to Earth and just decides that the best way that he can eat Earth if all the humans kill each other first. And so he creates sort of a death cult around himself as a god, saying, do whatever you want, guys. I'm God, and I say it's all cool. I was like, woohoo, let's go do stupid stuff. And as humans are wont to do. Yeah, so that's a nice tie-in. To me, as a guy who was a really big fan of that original Mobius Silver Surfer book, that was so good, so well written.
Oh, did you read Incredible Hulk Last Call yet?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to read that. I downloaded it, but I didn't get the chance to read it.
That's weird.
What's the premise of that?
Well, it takes place in the past. It takes place right after Betty died. At the end of Peter David's run.
Okay.
And Bruce Banner calls what's her name? Veronica, I believe, who worked at the call center with Betty. Like he's thinking about killing himself because this is when supposedly that he died, and he's basically telling her, yeah, I tried to kill myself.
Yeah.
But and it's basically just a bunch of flashbacks, when him and Betty first met and the wedding. He's like, well, her life would have been better if she had never met me and stuff. And there's flashbacks and stuff. But then Veronica's new boyfriend comes in to harass her. So the Hulk has to take action because a couple times Veronica mentions her new boyfriend, Cal.
Okay.
Calvin. Z. Kelvin Zabo.
Oh, Kelvin Zabo!
Yes!
Oh, I totally forgot about good old. I was actually thinking about that because I was trying to remember what his name was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Kelvin.
Yeah.
Kelvin Zabo.
Because he even fights the Green Hulk, and he's like, oh, you're green again.
Yeah, well, the last time they fought, he was great.
Yeah, in this time frame, yeah, he had been great, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that does sound like a good book.
Mm-hmm. It is. Well, of course, it's Peter David.
Oh,
and then not that, well, I guess I'll spoil the ending, but
go ahead.
Bruce was telling Veronica, he's like, yeah, I hired an assassin to try to kill me. He's like, if I give him the a certain sign, he's supposed to try to kill me. If not, the contract's canceled. So at the end of the story, he gives the assassin the sign that he's like, yeah, okay, I don't need you to kill me. And who is it? Who's the assassin?
Was it Hawkeye or Bullseye? Deadpool. Oh, okay. Well, that was nice of Deadpool.
Yes. Hey, got paid enough to face the Hulk.
Yeah, well, there you go. Did you get the chance to read Savage Avengers yet?
Yes, I did.
Yes. A lot of jumping around in this. Got our little Nazi joins the death cult. A little on the nose, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
Storyline there. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the whole, I'm just going to pour my blood on you and hopefully that fixes you, Dr.
Yeah,
Voodoo.
I was like, really? Wolverine's blood is like the cure-all now?
Well, I mean, the guy's magic, so maybe, Dr. Voodoo is magic.
It's a mutation. I was like, I buy healing factors, but like when they're like, oh, a couple drops of my blood can help you too. I'm just like, come on.
Yeah, and not for nothing, he actually cuts open his chest to get at Dr. Voodoo's heart.
Oh, yeah, he grabs his heart. He's like, it's not the first time I've had a heart in my hands. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I did like the nice little Conan time. I love how Conan just totally isn't a part of this entire conversation.
No.
It's like, I don't know, man. I'm just stealing stuff in castles. What I do, Totally not aware that he's in the crazy Super Marvel universe. He's like,
and it's just like a random symbiote running around.
Oh yeah, this is an extra symbiote that apparently has been on this planet for like 1,000 years.
I know. I'm like, really?
Sure, why not? I mean, it's not that strange. They've already established that there was a symbiote in Vietnam, right?
I guess, but it's just like, don't you make Venom less and less special if he's not the first one? And there's like, oh yeah, there's been millions of symbiotes running around Earth before.
Not for nothing, there have been. I mean, they've already established when they established a planet of the symbiotes. Yeah, they kind of crossed this bridge,
I mean, but still, it's like if the Venom one was the first one on Earth, I can almost forgive that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we've got, of course, Dr. Voodoo's back up, and Wolverine's got a bunch of swords in him and arrows. And then, of course, they're saying, yeah, we've been trying to get all the great killers. This last killer is a little troublesome. And what I love this is the front toward the enemy thing.
Yeah.
Just because that's just, I don't know if that's intended to be a reference to, I mean, I guess maybe there are munitions that do have that written on it.
It just smacked me like, Frank picked up some old, landmine or bomb somewhere and just like, oh.
Well, that's actually something from they had that in the first Punisher series.
Oh,
the Netflix, Front Towards Enemy.
Yeah.
And then he blows up all those guys. So that's when there's where's my family?
Boy, who thought the Punisher would be trouble, especially when you kidnap his dead family?
Yeah, it's just, people don't think things through. People do not think things through.
But I'm just like, is there like a weird trend now of like these anti-hero teams again? Because we got Savage Avengers, and then did you see that link I sent you today? There's they're forming a new team. There's a teaser about Marvel's most ruthless team, and it's Wiccan, Hellstrom, Blade, Monica Rambeau, Angela, and Winter Soldier.
Why are they so ruthless?
I don't know, but I'm like,
I mean, aside from the fact that none of them are named Ruth, so I guess it is a ruthless team.
no
one's named Ruth, but yeah, it's like.
I mean, I can see.
First off, Wiccan is not a guy that I think, oh yeah, that's ruthless. It's
or Monica
Wiccan.
Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau is not particularly ruthless either. I mean,
powerful, but she's not ruthless.
Yeah, it's Marvel's most ruthless. I don't know, but like maybe they're just pointing out that there is no one actually named Ruth on that team. Did you get the chance to read Domino in the Hot Shots or no?
No, I didn't. But tell me about it.
Okay, well, it's good. Apparently, this is the penultimate issue. Take a drink.
Well, yeah, because that big X-Men event. That's what I'm saying. I think they're canceling all the X-Men. That's what I was wondering if they changed the name to Hot Shots, trying to get out of that. But like, oh, this isn't a next book. It's Domino's in it, but there's a bunch of non-mutants in it. Diamondback's in it.
Diamondback's cool.
All these other characters.
She and Wade are kissy. That's very cute. And that was another thing is in War of the Realms. Apparently, we have Iron War Machine dwarves now. But yeah. So as you may recall, the Celestial Booger is empowering everyone left and right. And there's this whole thing about how if you're actually someone who wants power, this will corrupt you in a horrifying way, yada yada yada. And that fortunately, the power infected outlaw, and all she wants to do is drink and shtuck people. So she's like has few worries, few needs. But they do confront this guy, and he's going mad from the power. And then he accidentally they think he killed the girl that was trying to the other doctor he was with, Dr. Nagu or Nagoon, I believe it is, or Nagin. I don't know how you pronounce that name. But basically, we get the whole I'll embrace the power cosmic so I can defeat him. So she does, and he's like, yes, please kill me. This is bad for me. And then blows his brains out, and they get the little cosmic booger, and they have the War Machine fly them into the sun, which he has little iron drones. But I think that's going to take the iron drones like a year to get to the sun from Earth.
Yeah,
at standard repulsor speed. These things aren't that fast. So, but then apparently the thing that they thought was the lady getting melted into a rock was actually a cocoon, and now she's out and she's all celestially boogered up. So we have one more episode next week, and they're telling us it's the last episode. So write in to them and say, hey, I really like the show. I'm so sad that was the last episode. But yeah. Domino and the Hot Shots. It was a good book, man. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you probably didn't read Captain Marvel #6.
No,
it's another War of the Realms tie-in. No, because it starts with Black Widow. Her and Winter Soldier are down. Was it Brazil or something? They're fighting the Enchantress, and I don't know. Black Widow gets caught in some of the Enchantress's magic, and she gets a vision of the Enchantress's defeat, and it's Black Widow standing there with Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange. So she's like, oh, well, let's make this happen. I'll call Captain Marvel. We'll get Doctor Strange, and we'll just go to.
Mm-hmm.
So when they try to do that, the Enchantress casts a spell that body swaps Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange.
Oh!
And even Doctor Strange is saying, I mean, this is good writing by Kelly Thompson. She's like, Doctor Strange is like, my magic is like skills and knowledge, so I should be able to do magic even in your body. She's like, but somehow the Enchantress has like, locked the magic in my body. So he's like trying to teach Carol Danvers how to like, do the hand gestures, and he's like, are you even trying? He's like, come on.
Yeah,
but no, but
gesture hypnotically.
But it's even funny because Carol's like, she's like, these hands are in pain constantly. She even asked, Doctor Strange, she's like, do your hands always ache like this? He's like, yeah. He's like, I've come to,
yeah, living with pain, man.
Yeah, just deal with it. That that it's always there.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish Meet the Skrulls or Elvira or Shape of Elvira yet. I'll try and get those done before the end of it. I didn't get to read Iron Man either, which I know you said was really good.
Yeah,
or Black Cat.
Well, yeah, Iron Man written by Gail Simone this issue, so it's good.
Oh,
well, I know Lilith was saying a couple of days ago, maybe we'll even hit some comics on Capes and Lunatics, even though we're doing a movie review, because we might not need the whole time for X-Men.
Yeah. We'll see if Tristan has anything to say about it. Yeah, I mean, hey, here's what I'll say. I'm looking forward to it, but I decided not to see it twice. It's just, yeah.
Did you see it already?
No. I was debating I might go see it today because I have the time off being unemployed and all. And I was debating seeing it today, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just.
I don't think it's going to be that complex that you'll need to see it more than once.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when I go with Tristan, I got to go refill the popcorn and stuff. But you know what? I don't think I'll miss it. It's not Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I checked the runtime. I think it's an hour and 54 minutes.
Oh, that's short.
Yeah, it's not even 2 hours. It's like just under 2 hours. So.
Yeah. But that's like including credits. So it's like. Well, hopefully they get to a lot of story. I'm hoping they have Weingarten in it. But if not, where is Weingarten right now?
Where?
In New Orleans, in the new Wolverine series on Stitcher. Yes, if you can listen to it all right now if you have the premium, but if you're a cheap guy like me and don't mind commercials, you get into one once a week. And so we just got to have Weingarten in there, and he's very cool.
That's how we did. You and me did season 1. We just waited for the free version, and those commercials aren't that long.
No, I know Maz is a very big guy about his brain is not for rent for any god or government, but my brain is always for rent.
Maz and Lilith, I know.
Some people don't like commercials. Me, those young kids, they were raised.
I mean, if they were long commercials, but they're not on the Wolverine podcast.
Yeah,
long.
And not for nothing, it's not like they're YouTube commercials where they like intentionally just throw in the commercials at random intervals.
Yeah, it could be anything
just to annoy you. Like literally, I think they do that just to make you go, okay, I will switch over to pay it because you're making these commercials extra annoying. That's YouTube for you. But we'll talk some more comics on Sunday. Anything else you want to talk about tonight, Phil?
No.
Any other news?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay. Well then, in that case, Phil, how can people find you if they would so like to find you?
If you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. And check out Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, @CapesLunatics. The voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Check out capesandlunatics.org. And go. All right, Lilith, I'll help you out. Go check out Lilith Hellfire's new Instagram account, Lilith Hellfire69.
Yay, she got it.
Yeah. I believe she said her first projects were she's going to make memes of all her drops.
Oh, wonderful.
Her Lilith Hellfire drops, because I sent her the list I have. So
fight me, nerds. That's the one I want. Okay. And of course, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way Maz and Paz once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at the gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitters at Charlie Esser, where I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., except not tonight. Cloak and Dagger, except now it's on hiatus. Right. And other things when you can at Charlie Esser. That is CHARLIE ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! There you go. Yeah, me and Miles are always working on that, trying to do it live every weekend. Enough said.
That's punishments.
Just punishments. Yeah. And coming soon to a podcast near you, it's Moss, it's Chess, and we really want to be your friends.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That starts next week. Yeah.
Yes, it does. The 14th. I'm so excited. Okay, kids, that's this whole show. What are you doing? Get on with your lives. Love you dearly. Please come back again next week and super connect with us again. And that's the music.
No, good night.
Oh, good night. Sure. Good morning. Good night. I don't know when you're listening.
Good time.
Good time. Good times anytime you need me.
Every time's a good time to listen to Charlie Esser.
Yes. Ain't we lucky we got him? Good times.